Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a shallow dive into Bella Fizz. I actually don't remember how I came across this company. I don't remember if it was a suggestion or if it came on my FYP. I'm not really sure, but it was in my list and we are crossing these shallow dives off the list, guys. I am trying to get all my requested videos finally out to you guys, okay? So if you're not familiar with Bella Fizz, it's kind of like Bombparty, but a sadder version, maybe even smaller. It was founded by Taylor and Olivia in 2020. And when I look at these people, like I'm blurring out their kids' faces, obviously, but these couples, they have their men in the pictures. These look like just nice Midwestern families. And I wish there was more out there about why they started an MLM. I feel like a lot of times with MLMs, at least like the bigger ones, you can see the connection that the CEOs or the corporate staff have to other MLMs. When I was researching for this video, I found it interesting how small this company is. Usually even ones like LeBri are bigger accounts and have more engagement. They have a very humble Instagram. They have 540 followers, and I wonder how many of them are family and friends or distributors. But I can't see them having that many distributors either because this company is so tiny. And when you scroll through on their page, they get one like sometimes on a post, and I don't get a lot of engagement either. But I think it is a good way to help yourself gauge how successful a person or a company can be if people are engaging with it. Like my channel, all my stuff is super tiny and super small, and I'm super niche down, like an agnostic anti-MLM creator. Like I don't know how small it can get from that. But I kept looking. I wanted to see if maybe they were bigger on other platforms, and unfortunately they're not. Now, they did just start about 4 years ago, so I'll give them that. But I was looking on TikTok specifically, because I've seen MLM distributors pop off on there making content and companies pop off on there. Like Bombparty is really successful on there. But Bella Fizz, they have 3 accounts with the name Bella Fizz in it. One is just inactive with no content, I believe. And then the other 2 are banned accounts. And these have some followers on them, but they're banned. So I wonder what the story is there. How did their account get banned? What happened? The bragging points that this company seems to have, not what I think they should be bragging about, it's just the line they like to toe, that is that they're a faith-based company and all of their jewelry is sterling silver. When I was looking through on the website, which hurts me, and I'm going to show you why, I think this is honestly one of the worst ones I have ever seen. Okay, like this is past, like it's been 4 years that this company's been open. It's time to get it together. But the packaging for the little fizzy blocks, I'm not calling them, they call them fizzits. I can't make myself say that with a straight face constantly. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. They're little blocks. The packaging that comes in is, I wish I had some. Oh, I don't, because I hate it. It's that flimsy little plastic. I'm going to show you guys a video on the screen of so you can get an idea what I mean. But that's like the hurdy plastic. That's the bad plastic. I don't like that. While they're a newer company, there is not a lot of content out there from Bella Fizz and from the distributors. There's not a lot of commotion on the internet for this one. It's really quiet. Similarly to Bombparty, they also get super jazzed about finding diamonds when they do reveals, because they also do reveal lives on Facebook, I've seen, and on TikTok, probably on Instagram too, I'm guessing. 2 websites popped up for this company when I Googled it. So there's Bella Fizz, and then there's Bella Fizz Boutique. So one seems to be like if you were going to sign up or buy the products. I'm going to show you so you know what I'm talking about. And the other seems to be for distributors only. So you can buy like merch with the brand and extra little things you might need to run your business. So get ready, put your sunglasses on, because what I'm about to show you is going to hurt and stain your eyes for all time. This is their website. So when you click on the bellafizz.com link, this is what pops up. Up top in the right-hand corner, it looks like Facebook-esque font and coloring, so I thought that was kind of weird. You know, I had a lot of people on some of my other videos say that I'm really negative, but can you blame me for this one? Can you blame me for being negative about it? This is the most fast, badly built website I've ever, like, you want me to spend money here? I can't. I can't. You can't even tell what's a button and what's not, except for the blue find a rep thing. I want you guys to focus on where it says join my team. Click here to get started today. Join whose team? Whose team? Who's me? Who are we joining? When you click on the public link, it doesn't say like a rep's name at the top. What's going on? Who just weird wording and confusing, I feel like, for people who are going to go by here or join. So let's go over what it takes to join as a Bella Fizz rep. So joining Bella Fizz is going to run you $99, or you can do their $35 package. So the $99 fizzy kit, you get 6 fizzies, one size of, I'm assuming each of those, a bell, tongs, a glam cam. What's a glam cam? I know they're not sending people cameras. Ring display, banner, Bella booklet, gem color key. What the fuck is that? Kit, contents, flyer, and a personal website. Oh, maybe the glam cam is like the little focusy thing so you can show finer detail. I've seen that bombparty reps have that sometimes, or the Pearl people too. So the basic kit, $35. You get the glam cam, ring display, Bella booklet, gem color key, kit contents flyer, personal website. And you get your website free for the first month, as you should. So when you go back to the Google page to go try to shop because you can't figure out how to do it on the public page, so you go back to Google and they have like more droppy downs and you go to the shop button, it shows us several different reps pictures. We don't know who we're buying from. There's several different random people. Are there only 3 reps? Maybe that's why. That would explain it. The first thing you see is that items are out of stock. So the cheapest item I could find for Bella Fizz is unfortunately a kids item. I really don't enjoy the fact that MLMs make products for kids. It's one thing to prey on women, and a lot of times that means mothers, stay-at-home mothers looking to like help. But when they make products for the kids, I'm like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to get that mom excited. Oh, like they even have products for my kids. My kids love it. They love it. I hate to see it, and that gives them an excuse or reason to post their kids on the internet loving the MLM product. So this kids fizzy is $15.99 for one thing. Now, I didn't see a whole lot of reveals, but the ones I did see, this jewelry you could find at a Claire's if that's still open. You could go to your local Walmart, maybe. You could go on Amazon and get a giant selection of multiple ones for $15.99. You could probably go on those wholesale website and find, if not the same, eerily close jewelry. None of this is special at all. At all. None of it is different than every other MLM, other, and even the fizzy ones, other than the fact that their website is quite literally the most heinous one I have ever seen. And their most expensive product is called Holiday Sparkle. And you betcha they did not change the graphic for this one. So I'm filming this and I did the research in July and we are still celebrating for Christmas. Because why keep up with what season we're in when you can get ready for Christmas all year long? Okay, and this is $99 and it looks like you get a beautifully packaged gift set, 1 earring and pendant set, 1 20-inch necklace chain, 1 ounce Fizz and Shine, 1 Bella Fizz branded jewelry box, guaranteed sterling silver pendant, an earring set featuring 20 designs, pendant SRV. Oh, like the value is going to be $80 to $1,000. Earring SRV $80 to $1,000, plus multiple chances at genuine stones and diamonds. I would not want to spend $99 for a chance at genuine stones and diamonds. What do you mean? They're not just always genuine stones and diamonds. So you're just buying a lot of shit, and every once in a while you get a genuine stone or diamond. And they like throw you a bone. Not getting my money. There's a girl on TikTok who goes and buys like a vase of jewelry from the jewelry section, and she goes through it, and I think she like resells whatever she doesn't keep for herself. That's what I would go do with my money instead if I wanted to buy not special jewelry. Now let's look at the Bella Fizz boutique website, which I'm shocked that this is everything on here is public information. And the fact that they have their training available for the public is a little bit interesting. Number one, because in MLM, you can't typically be super transparent and honest. So it's interesting that they have the training just readily available for anyone to scoop up or make commentary on. Now, the fizzy dust, when I saw this, my first thought was they are struggling for cash, because to me, it's giving, this is the scraps of what was left in production, and we are scraping for crumbs. So scooped it in a bag and you could buy it for $1. That's what it seems like to me. They do have a comp plan, and I'll put that on the screen here and you can pause to read. It's not special or interesting to really get into. So I want to move on to their training video, and we're going to look at the third one together. So this one is called Leading the Way, and I'm going to assume, and I skimmed through it, and I believe this one is about leadership. So let's see what they're teaching their leaders.
Hey everyone, it's Olivia, and today I am so excited to talk to you on this training video about how leaders show the way. So first we're going to talk about how to live with integrity. Leaders do the right thing. They follow.
How much integrity can you have in an MLM? Truly. Not much, I fear. But let's continue.
The company rules, the compliances. They do the right thing when no one's looking. People trust us because
I think it's so interesting that she put this in the beginning of the video. And yes, it is important to do the right thing, follow the rules, blah, blah, blah. They can still fire you anyway. But I wonder why she felt the need to put that right in the beginning. My spidey senses are having me question if that is, if something else happened that she made this video. Did somebody go behind your back? One of your distributors do something they weren't supposed to do?
We operate with integrity, don't cut corners or try to find shortcuts. We live within the rules. So that's one trait of a great leader. And the next one, number 2, leaders communicate clearly. So leaders are very good at communication, understanding the different behavioral styles of people. There's a bunch of different behavioral styles, and we can talk a little bit more about that. There's tests out there where you can find what your personal behavioral style is and things like that. But
I'm going to decode that one for you if you thought that sounded all fair and good. And I think in a normal workplace, maybe on a lighter level it could be, but the reason you need to know people's like personality styles and like how you should lead and whatever is because of the level of manipulation that I feel goes into being a leader in an MLM, because you have to know how to work with these people, because your paycheck is directly dependent on it, and you need them to stay in. You need your workhorse to be a good little workhorse. So you need to know how to push their buttons, basically. One thing we were taught to do in MLM was do the color test, color personalities, and you would have your downline do it as well. So you knew like how to better work with them. And also you would ask them like, what's your why? What's your reason for doing this? Your why that makes you cry. At one point we were encouraged to make videos of ourselves saying it, so that if we ever felt like not posting for our business or felt like quitting, we could go back and watch ourselves making ourselves cry and brainwash ourselves into staying in. That's how deep that shit went for me. And I did it, and luckily I deleted that video. I probably deleted that before I even left the company.
Basically learn how to communicate with the different types of people. Understanding behavioral styles and communicating with people in their language. And then making statements that are clarity statements instead of contrasting statements. So, leaders communicate clearly, communicate what you're trying to say clearly. Third, by asking questions, you're able to make sure that what you're saying is being understood by your audience. So asking the correct questions is really important. A lot of times you'll probably hear me say at the end of something, maybe when I'm on a live or something, I might say, does that make sense? So that way I know that you understand.
That's one of the ones that I was taught to use. Because also you have to end with a question, because it is so hard to get people to join the company and to maintain a conversation with you when they eventually do join, because you wouldn't leave them the alone. So they felt like they had no choice and they ended up joining. And to keep the conversation going, you always have to end with a question to keep them responding to you, to keep them in, to keep them contributing to your paycheck. Do you see what I'm saying? But that actually can sound really condescending. Like, does that make sense? Like, sure, but I like to use that one sparingly, like still today, like, does that make sense? Because I know I'm not making sense. Like, am I making sense? I feel like sounds better than, does that make sense? Because I guess it kind of sounds like, does that make sense? And you're going to say yes because you don't want to sound like a buffoon.
You'll probably hear me say at the end of something, maybe when I'm on a live or something, I might say, does that make sense? So that way I know that you understand what I'm saying and I'm not being confusing. So, does that, like, I'll just be like, does that make sense? And you'll say yes or no. So then I can reword it or think about how I can say that differently. So they have an example of clear communication. Um, Fourth is leaders make sure they're approachable. So we want to be approachable.
If you took the color personality test and you were an MLM, I was a red. I would be curious to know what you guys were too. And I wanted to be a blue so bad because the blues, they love to party, love to be fun. They're fun, 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 fun. And they just like shit rainbows and unicorns. They're just so bubbly. And I was a red, a non-functioning red. And I probably did not give off the vibe that my downline would want to come to me and speak to me because I was like 95% hard assy because I don't know how to explain it because I felt like I was faking an entire persona online that I was nicey nice, but then my leadership was hard assy, so it was really hard to figure out how to be in this weird world I've created where me in real life is not the same as me when I was in itworks making content online. It wasn't the same thing. And I don't think most people had to worry about being approachable as a leader, but looking back now, I probably did not give off super approachable vibes. But also, if you're a red and you're more hard assy, you're probably not going to be super approachable. I wonder if they only want people who are in the blue or yellow categories.
As leaders, we want people to come to us and be comfortable asking questions. We want to we want people who are coming into this business to make them feel like they're a part of our community. So, and a part of our community and our company. So that's really big in Bella Fizz. We really talk about that a lot for our culture, making people feel welcome and, making them feel free to ask questions. And
Love bombing is really what a lot of people experience. And I like to use things in the psychological speak sparingly because I think a lot of it is very overused now. Like, people call every person they don't like narcissistic, and people like to say everyone has narcissistic tendencies. And no, they don't. They're just human, and some people are assholes. And some people are assholes more than other people. And I feel like that lets the real narcissists fly under the radar. So when we're using love bombing, that is not just when someone is nice to you and welcomes you to their team. But what I think qualifies as I'm not a professional anything. But what I think of when I think of love bombing reminds me of my time in itworks. When I joined, I got a shout out post. My upline posted my picture and she was so excited to have me. Like, we were friends in real life. So it felt like probably more real to me than some people maybe that she just met through online. Like, to me, like, it felt more of a big deal to me. Every time you get a customer, they congratulate you. You're told to like get on all these team calls. Everyone's so excited to talk to you. Everyone's so excited and like just like, you're gonna make it. You're gonna do so good and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, they're not doing good. But like, they were all lying, and I felt like I had to participate in that. If we got on a team call and there was anyone new, like, just put on a smile. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Oh my gosh, you're gonna be so successful. Meanwhile, I can't pay my auto ship, and that means I'm not gonna be commission qualified because I didn't keep 4 customers to myself. But you're not supposed to do that. You want to disperse them throughout your chart, and it's all very confusing. But let's move on.
Not feel, some people might say like this might be a stupid question, but no question is stupid, and we want to make sure that all questions are answered. So as leaders and as we grow into leadership, that's really important.
That might sound fun and dandy. That's actually, in my experience, just so you don't quit. Just so you're gonna ask the question and other people feel like they can answer it, and the whatever groups are getting engagement, things like that. It's more for appearances, I feel, and keeping you in than just, oh, if you're working for Instacart and you ask support for help. It's not the same because they are MLMs run on other people's desperation. And that falls into tiny, tiny little trickles like this that seem generally harmless.
To throw out there. So, approachable means making eye contact, which I know on here a lot. It's a lot of it's Facebook Live and things like that. But if you're ever having Zoom meetings or sponsorship meeting where you're looking at sponsoring somebody and you're doing a one-on-one call with them, maybe it's a video call, giving them your full attention, communicating with your family, letting them know I'm going to be on this call for 20 minutes, so that way you can give all of your time to that.
And it's going to start out small like that. If you stay in an MLM, I'm fixing my sad little nails because they're starting to fall off, but I need to take a press on nail break. I really just do. My nails are so pathetic. They always have been, but like, it's so bad right now. But you are going to start out saying little things like that to your family. Like, I really think I'm going to be successful in this. So can I just hop on the Zoom call and you watch the kids? But, you as a distributor, you believe that you are going to make it big and it is going to pay off with these tiny little sacrifices. But you did this so you'd have more time with your family. Okay, but I just have to do it for like 5 years and then I will finally be able to take more time for a family. No, it never ends. You never get off the hamster wheel unless you are a distributor who makes it big enough to where you're not doing much other than appearance Zoom calls and running your auto ship so you can get paid. And you would be surprised at how fast it can spiral under control. And as the spouse of somebody who is doing that, I would imagine it would be very hard to watch. Like at first, it might seem like, okay, even if you are on board, like, oh, okay, like sure. But it can easily and so quickly spiral out of control. And that's why people, when they leave an MLM, will sometimes say, this is a cult.
Your undivided attention to make them feel special, like you're there for them. So approachable means making eye contact, being authentic, and then when you're authentic, people want to be in your space. So that was that on authentication.
Well, so then do you have to be a person with faith to be an MLM? Because you can't really be yourself in MLM if you don't fit the mold a lot of times. Now, Monet was very lackadaisical, but when I was in MLM, if you were not a person of no color with perhaps blonde hair and a Christian background, pushing the Christian stuff online, you weren't really getting pushed to the forefront a lot. And maybe that's just how the cookie crumbled, but that's how it was in my experience. And at the same time, be yourself. People want to see authenticity, but it's like, you don't want me to be myself. I know you don't want that.
So another thing that my coach has said is do the do. So what does that mean? You do what you're asking them to do. So for example, if you're asking your team to sponsor, then you should be sponsoring. If you're asking your team to sell the product, you don't want to ask them to sponsor if you're not sponsoring. You don't want to ask them to sell the product if you're not selling the product. That's part of leading by example. Holding events if you're not holding events. So when you're doing those things, you're leading by example, and leading your team into those things, sponsoring, selling the product. And
I'm going to speed this up because she kind of stumbles through her words. I think it seems like kind of like she made notes, but like she could have edited this to sound better, I think. As one of the founders of the company, I think that would have been a little bit better. This seems kind of like scrambly somehow, not well thought out.
Holding events. For some reason, when people get into that leadership in the management roles, they think they're supposed to manage people and direct them. But when you get to that point, you kind of get disconnected, and you just really need to be taking that action. So this is really important when you're in a leadership role, and then when you're wanting to be in a leadership role. That's how you get to a leadership position, and how to keep that leadership position is by taking enough action to, which we kind of talked about on Tuesday.
She's using a lot of words to say you have to enroll and your downline has to enroll or my company's going to fall apart. That's essentially what she means by that. And she's using a lot of fluff, pomp, and circumstance that I frankly cannot stand. Just say what you mean and mean exactly what you're saying, please. I know people aren't going to do that. It's just one of my things. Like it baffled me when I learned that people don't mean what they're saying. I mean what I'm saying, but other people don't mean what they're saying. They want me to figure it out. I can't do mental gymnastics all day.
Taking enough action to complete your goals and where your team wants to be. So maybe you have a team goal that you're working towards. So how to stay relevant. How do I stay relevant when I've been in it for a long time? Listening, staying connected to people. You learn.
So she's talking about like getting on team calls, being up your downline's ass, being in the group chats, being active in the team pages. I feel like that's really what she means. And for some reason, she's not just going to say it like what it is, which is kind of weird. Like, why not just be completely transparent? If you're going to have the training out for public knowledge, why not just be transparent with everybody? I think that would be best practice. Like, just really say what it's going to look like.
Doing. So we have kind of a party planning company where, we hold parties. So with every party that you hold.
Well, it's just Facebook Lives. It's just selling stuff on Facebook Lives and TikTok Lives or Instagram Lives. You're not throwing a party. It might be fun for the people who are obsessed with jumping on these type of things and buying things. I can see the appeal there. And like you never know what you're going to get, and that's exciting for some people. I understand that part, but it's not a party. And when I was in Networks, we were encouraged to throw Facebook parties, which just meant we're sitting there stuck to our computers or our phones, making posts every 5 minutes, and then engaging and being stressed out and hoping people engaged. And then most of the time they didn't. And that's really sad. So please don't call it a party because that's very confusing for modern people, I think, because it's not a party when you're the one on live and then people are just sitting on the toilet shitting and watching you. Makes it sound more exciting than it is.
You will learn something new. Maybe it's how to do something easier, a better way to do that particular task that you're doing. If it's every party that you do will come with a learning experience. So that will keep you connected, and you just have to have that mindset of I am going to do what it takes to become that leader. And
yeah, and you're going to do it for free. You're going to do it for free. Not in the sense that you're not going to spend money to do it. You are going to give I'm just cleaning the trash off my desk, putting in my protein bar thing. I took 3 of my nails off. I took 2 of my nails off and most of the pinky because they're falling off and I just can't stand what it catches on my hair. Makes me crazy. But you're going to be doing this for free. You could possibly spend hours of your time for free or negative dollars because you have to buy this stuff. Oh, and you have to ship it. This is one of those companies with an unfortunate old school kind of business plan and very, very bad choice, I think, because I think it gives MLMs who handle all the shipping and stuff, I think it gives them a leg up from you being the person who's going to have to send it to that person. That comes out of your pocket. And when you are looking at an income disclosure statement and if it's saying that it doesn't include what you put in, it's just your gross sales. It's not including what you put in for whatever reason. If you're in Bella Fizz, I don't fucking care why you put money in the company. Why, for whatever reason, you spend money on anything, even if it's sticky notes for your business, if you add all that together and make a profit and loss statement and you are losing, you should think about how long you want to keep losing. It's really hard to make it on the internet. It is really even harder to make it on the internet and in an MLM. But she's talking about this like you are going to have an easy return, like you actually have a chance at making it. You have a better chance gambling, statistically speaking, per the FTC. So, but let's let her finish.
I'm that mentor for my people, my team. So the next thing is coming into a leadership position with that mindset of I can do this. Not an arrogant attitude, but a confident attitude is so important. So when you enlarge your comfort zone, so I always say success is on the outside of your comfort zone. And I used to tell myself that before I would go live, like success is on the outside of your comfort zone, and to get myself to hit the live button, because it sometimes it
Going live was not the worst part for me. I am a blabber. And when I was in MLM, I loved nothing more. I was in like the heyday of blabbing. And now I'm a lot more quiet and I'm a way better listener. But back then, I loved to blab. It wasn't that hard to hit the live button. Once I did, it was hard for me to shut up. But I would be sweaty. I would get armpit and butt sweat. That is true. But it wasn't so much about going live. It was, am I doing this for nothing? Am I doing this and nobody's going to join my team or buy my products kind of thing? That was, I feel like, the hardest part about going live.
can be uncomfortable, but it's very, very important. And so confidence comes from being uncomfortable. When you're a little uncomfortable, your confidence grows because you're
I would say a lot of confidence comes from when I do something and I'm expecting money in return. When I get that money through my work that I put in, I get the money. Like when I do the work, I get the money. That's what would boost my confidence in a job. I do the job, I do my part, I get paid. But that's not how it works in MLM. It would be a big confidence booster if you could get on live and you could sell little remotes for your walking treadmill. If you could just sell those like hotcakes or something, that would definitely boost your self-confidence. That would do wonders. Like you were just selling these little things like hotcakes. That would be awesome. And then you would be getting paid. Yeah, you would keep doing it. But when you're in an MLM and you're encouraged to keep doing it and people aren't buying and you're just making live videos, oh, you're doing a party and maybe you make up a name of the person you're doing the little fizzy show for, but really it's you from your auto ship.
enlarging your comfort zone, which that will help enlarge your confidence. So lead the way with, I would just encourage you to lead the way with confidence. And remember that people want to know, they they want to know how much you care, not necessarily how much you know. So be there to serve people. Um, and then when they grow in, they can grow in their leadership because you've taught them how to lead. So when you're leading, you're allowing.
Do you know what's funny is I had to ask my upline so many times because she's so nice. I needed her constant advice on what to say to my downline when what I want to say is, did you do the work? Like, did you do your 6 list? No, you didn't. Okay, go back and fucking doing that and then come talk to me. Why are you talking to me when you didn't do anything? You know what I mean? And obviously, you can't talk to people like that. And I knew that. So I would always constantly ask her, how can I phrase what I'm feeling in a way that will help this person do what needs to be done, like do their part. And that was always really tricky when she always answered my questions and stuff, but I feel like it never felt like the right fit for me. Like, why am I involved in something where I'm constantly having to ask for verbiage to help people do something that they already know how to do? Like literal scripts and stuff like that was really hard for me.
To learn from you, and they can grow in their leadership. So watch what happens when you begin to or continue to do that. So that's what I have for you today. You know, success is on the outside of your comfort zone. I just really encourage you to take that, and every time that something feels uncomfortable, just know that something good is going to come out of it when it comes to your business. So I don't only encourage you to put these traits to use in your business, but also,
Yeah, we're just going to use them to enlarge our confidence. It's always with the saucy wording in MLMs. Maybe it's just me. It's pretty saucy though.
in your personal life, you know, with your kids at home, granddaughters, daughters, sons, grandsons, nephews, nieces, things like that. So, because we can really,
You know, personally, I don't need my job to teach me how to be a better leader with my nieces and nephews and my family. Like, that's not professional. Why do I need my job to seep into my personal life? Let's think about that.
teach as we can really teach our children as we're learning too. So, and it's
Well, your downline isn't your children, so don't teach them. Don't treat them as such. And also, why are we talking about how we're teaching our kids? Like, what's going on here? That's a little unprofessional, I feel.
To do so. So I hope you guys have a great night. I will see you next week, and don't forget to comment below what you learned from this training. Bye.
So there's nowhere to comment, but maybe this is like from YouTube and she just slapped it on this page as well. So there's nowhere for us to comment. A couple last things before we close out this video that I wanted to talk on is this company seemingly encourages you to make separate social medias for like your business account. So are they not allowed to use their personal accounts? I was when I was in MLM, but I know some MLMs you have to make a separate account. So I think that's interesting. But also that makes it really hard to get good engagement because now it's obvious what you're trying to do. And sure, like people will follow along for your personality, but it's gonna be harder to get those people in because they know you're going to try to sell something to them. And when you're scrolling down on this page I'm showing you, it looks like maybe it's so people can print it out, but I don't think you need to print out any of this. I don't think you need any of this either. But if the whole idea behind this company is that you are buying products and or people are buying products from you and you order them and you reveal them on a little party on TikTok Live and you are revealing what they're getting. Why? Do you need a contact list? Is it because you have to go bother people because people won't come to you to buy MLM products? Lastly, when you go to the bottom and there's like the little clicky icons for their social media, even when you click on the TikTok one, it takes you to one of the banned accounts. And that's just so funny to me. Like, please update that. Please fix the website. It makes me sad. This really probably isn't big enough for them to do a whole lot with it. It doesn't seem like it's jumping and driving at all, not even close. It seems like it barely has a pulse, but it's also a really new company. So maybe it's just really hard as an MLM to get your foot in the door now with the general public who is starting to know better thanks to the anti-MLM community and common sense. So if you like this video, give it a little likesy poo. If you have commentary to share with the class, leave that down below. And if you super like this video, share it with your besties and make sure you are subscribed so you get to see all of my videos. Thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one.